I swear in the days still left, we'll walk in fields of gold. We'll walk in fields of gold.
I loved with a gang, and we always had truck picnics. And all the kids younger than me, they all had girlfriends. They all had girlfriends, but I didn't. But one of the kids that was in our gang, Johnny Smith, his mother, his dad was dead, but he lived with his mother and two sisters. And these called them their aunt. She wasn't really their aunt. It's yours. She wasn't really their aunt. She'd come over on the same boat with them, with her mother and dad. And they got to be good friends, I think is the way it was. But they called her Aunt Mary, and they called Johnny and Dorothy and what was the other Smith girl's name? Two daughters. Well, anyhow, they called them cousins. They thought they were cousins. And she had gone to one of our truck picnics with one of our gang took her. You know, like I say, all the boys in the gang, they all had girlfriends, and they took them on the truck picnics. These truck picnics, they were non-profit. There wasn't a dime made on them. But we would make enough money on them to rent the truck and make 2 batches of root beer. Of course, I was always busy with the root beer and stuff like that. I didn't think any girl was ever interested in me. So I didn't have a girlfriend. But I knew her, and I knew that her aunt told her that I was a good catch, that she should try to get to know me. But her mother and dad had a farm down in St. Clairsville, Ohio. And we would go down to that farm. We were invited down to the farm for the whole summer. We weren't loafing. I guess I was 19. And Johnny Smith, he invited us down to the farm. Well, 2 of us went down, and we worked on the farm, so it was no hardship for them. We pitched hay and turned the hay over out in the fields when it was cut. We carried the milk from, they had 40 acres and, I guess about 20 or 30 cows. And we'd carry the milk over to the spring house in the morning, milking, and the night milking. We would carry that over to the spring house, and then late at night, when it got dark, we would deliver the milk up and set it on the road for the truck to come along and pick it up. And there were 2 of us down there, and her mother wouldn't let them go down. Her and Harriet would come down to the farm and spend 2 weeks. But her mother didn't want them to come down because we were down there. She didn't want them to get down there with a couple of boys down there. And but my sister died. My sister Gertrude, she had a tooth pulled and I don't know what they called it, but it was abscessed, and the dentist pulled it. And it was on a weekend, and she got sick, and doctors, they couldn't get a doctor because the doctors were all away or something this summer. So she died. She was 16 when she died. And we came home. Well, when her mother knew we came home, she let them go down, her and Harriet. She let them go down. But then we got home, and after the funeral, I wanted something to do, and to me it was depression. And it was a relief for my mother to get rid of us for a couple of weeks and have somebody else feed me, I guess. So I wanted to go back, and she says, well, okay, you may as well go back. She says, Gertrude's been buried and everything, and you go back. So I went back, and they were down there at the time. They got down there. And that was August. And we didn't have much to say to each other, but August the 15th, we had to walk about 4 or 5 miles to go to church. And August the 15th was a holy day, so we went to church. And we all walked together, her and her sister Harriet, and me and my friend, we all walked together. Well, that's where we got to know each other a little bit, walking down and walking back. So every night we would, after all the chores were done and everything, we'd go out and sit on the deck, on the steps to the deck. There's about 4 steps went up to the deck. And we'd sit out there. She'd sit out there and I'd sit out there. First thing you know, we got to talking to each other. We got to know each other a little better. We didn't pitch any woo or anything. We just got to know each other. Well, then we come home she was still going to school. She was a senior in high school. We come home for her to go to school. And she had a birthday. We come home on Labor Day, and she got off the bus up in Dormont. We were in town. We rode the bus up. And first thing I know, she invited me to her birthday party, which was September 18th. So I went to her birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
And after the birthday party, we got together at the birthday party. She started to teach me to dance and stuff like that. And when we left, I said, well, how about me taking you to a movie on Saturday night? So I took her to a movie on Saturday night. Then there was nothing more said after that.